how a local group is helping to create the next generation of change makers and leaders.
Matching young men with mentors and coaches to give them the skills and confidence they need. Let's go on the record.
From WPBF 25, this is On the Record with Todd McDermott and Nathalie Pozo.
The mission of the local nonprofit Connect to Greatness is to expose young black men in elementary, middle, and high school to programs promoting leadership and empowerment. So joining me now is Executive Director Sonia Olivia Presley to talk about Connect to Greatness. Thanks so much for being here.
Oh, you're welcome, Todd. And just one quick clarification.
Sure.
I'm actually the chair of the board. You'll be meeting the executive director.
So you're up even higher. You know, we like to give people multiple titles on this show, but I'm glad that you straightened that out. Let's talk about how this organization came about in the first place.
Well, actually, it's actually the ED. He's the co-founder along with his wife, Cassandra Corbin Thaddeus, and they actually had a discussion in their living room one night. It was after the Trayvon Martin case and trying to figure out what can we do with black males, how can we support? And I'm saying we as if I was there. I actually had the conversation later with her in Starbucks about bringing it now into fruition. And so being part of the support along with, it's just been a whole group. So they orchestrated an initiative, started the program, and it has actually grown from just not being just the Leadership Academy, but you have a couple of programs, Lunchbox Talk Session, you have the Connecting Future Leaders, and then the Women of Boys Empowerment.
So many programs to talk about.
Yes.
What makes this kind of mentoring so important, so crucial at the age of these young men?
Truthfully, what makes it crucial and important is that our African American boys that we're treating, they're able to take some ownership in themselves. There's accountability in their education. Personal interest in their journey. If you look at statistics, if it goes back, I think, to 2021, one of the magazines have put out that boys who tend to drop out, especially by the 9th grade, black boys, that actually starts in the 4th grade when they disconnect from education.
And then they're there for another 5 years before they finally decide.
And during that time, guess what? It's behavior problems and so on until they spiral out. Well, think about a Connect to Greatness as meeting the criteria, which they talked about, bringing in that cultural component, making sure there's a consistency in the education. So when they leave the school, they come into the program, there's still academic tutor there. There are men in their likeness who can be there to support, be that listening ear for them.
And their success really is the community success as well.
Absolutely. Think about it. And, you know, I always say Palm Beach County, it's great down here. We have a nice support system and going, but there's still a target because when you compare what's going on nationally, average, and okay, if I go from the college level and work back 40%, black males still drop out of school because 65% of them have to go in and still support for themselves. You take that back a further, there's a struggle that stems from youth and them trying to maintain. So now we meet them here and we're able to assist them. So yeah, they may not go to college, they may go to trade, but you give them that support so that they can make it in life and be a contributing factor in the community.
And everybody benefits.
Absolutely, absolutely.
You just had a graduation.
Yes.
Tell me what it's like for the mentors and the mentees to graduate from a program like this. That must be quite a happy celebration.
It is, the mentees, because think about it, we have the youth all the way up from 6th grade to 12th grade. And this year, what was great about it is that we had our first cohort of graduates. And so those boys who've been with us since inception, since 2016. You know, being able to give them scholarship for those who were going on into higher education, for those to watch them have their behavior problems to grow up to be confident young men, knowing how to talk and look at you in your eye, you know, taking responsibility in their education. Of course, it's fulfilling, it's exciting, and just to have the community see their caretakers and their mothers there, I can just tell you from the outside looking in, it warms your heart. I remember being there for the graduation and preparing for that, and then watching the men. And I said, I saw at that moment, Todd, what was special. One of the coaches is like, right after the graduation, he has them all in a group, and he's like, well, who has your black pants? Who has your white shirt? It's like that father figure coming in. And then they have other young men who are in the program to assist them. So for the kids, if they're not into sports, if they're into anime, there are coaches in there to meet their need and their different interests. So that's what makes the program unique. The people who are coming in there every day, just people in the community, young men who want to give back. And I think what's really great about that is when you see those who grow up, go out in the world, have their education, make it, and now they come back and they work and they're contributing. It really does make for a community-wide benefit.
And it sounds very much like a big family.
It is, and it's growing. It's growing, and what's great about it is the support within the school system, going out, because that's what's needed. I sit at the entrepreneurial level on the business side, but for those of us, I know we've all seen it where if we could just do a little bit more, you know, the schools need help. As things change, it really chimes in where the community can come together and do it, give a portion, because it'll aid. And as we've gone through already this year and gotten some of the feedback, and as I've watched even some of the feedback, listening to the principals and those counselors in the school and talking about the difference it has made. When you see a kid who has a behavior problem telling another kid, you can't come in because you're not doing, that shows growth right there.
Right, and there's nothing like peer pressure. All right, there are parents out there right now listening to you talk about this, and they are saying, how do I make this happen for my son? How do they sign up?
They need to go to connecttogreatness.com and sign up. Connecttogreatness.org. It'll take them to the website, and they can fill out the application, and they can learn more there. All right.
And I need to point out that you don't operate in a vacuum. It takes financial help to make all this happen. Talk about the importance of community donations versus grants and everything that you need.
Both are very important. You need the community donations, you need the grants, but I'm going to tell you, the significant part of the community donations is that money can come in, be allocated, service provided, and out. When you think about grants, you have to apply for it, you have to wait for response, record, and then you're reporting on the outcomes, whereas community dollars come in, you're able to allocate that money to the program, go ahead and serve, and now report out. It's immediate. Not only that, if we think about the statistics, Palm Beach County, right? Okay, we have 1.5 million here. Between Boynton, Delray, and West Palm, you figure there's about 272,000 of that. Now break it down by African American, there's about 28% of us. Out of that 28, where that gets into the number, that's about 81,000 people. Even if we have 40,000 give $1, that's enough for the program funding immediately versus a grant.
All right, I have about 30 seconds left. Any upcoming events you want to talk about?
Of course. Okay, upcoming event, September 10th, we're looking forward to that. That's our board mixer kickoff, where individuals in the community can really learn more about the organization and coming out and join us. That information will also be posted on the website, but it's actually September 10th, a Tuesday evening mixer at 6:30 p.m.
And there is the website again, connecttogreatness.org.
Yes.
Sonia Olivia Presley, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Todd.
Very inspiring to hear. We have so much more to talk about. Next, my co-anchor Natalie Pozo talks with a mother and her son who excelled through the mentorship of Connect to Greatness.
After his crash,
we got Robert over 50 times more.
$2 million.
That's some serious money.
If you've been hurt in a car accident, don't take the insurance company's first offer.
Call Stanger, Green & Finer.
800-561-1111. Certain this is gonna work?
Nothing to it.
For Imprint certain?
Certainty matters. 4imprint is your home for promo gear to wow clients and inspire your team. Check out 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain.
I'm Jill Hazy.
And I'm Erin Burns.
We invite you to join us this Sunday for Total Retirement with Ernie Burns, where we'll discuss wealth management, estate planning, and more.
Ernie was named 2022's Forbes Best In-State Security Professional. You don't want to miss it.
Day or night, there's something for everyone this summer at Busch Gardens Tampa Bay. The animal lover, the high flyer, the social butterfly, the night owl. Exotic, exhilarating, excitement for all. Save up to 55% on tickets, fun cards, and passes during our 4th of July sale. Hurry, offer ends soon.
This is Kathy. She's about to see her dentist. She's afraid. Not because of the drill, but because of the bill. A big bill. But Kathy doesn't need to be afraid, and neither do you, thanks to affordable dental insurance from Physicians Mutual Insurance Company. It's easy to get this coverage. Don't believe me? Call or go online for all the details. You could even have this free information kit. This isn't a discount plan or preventive-only coverage. This is real dental insurance. It helps pay for over 400 procedures. That's a lot. I'm talking cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, root canals, even dentures. Bottom line, you'll have help paying for routine care and expensive major work. But if you want deductibles, forget it. There aren't any. No annual maximum either. Plus, you can see any dentist you want. Stop fearing the big bill. Start saving at the dentist. Call now or go to sendinfokit.com.
Physicians Mutual, Physicians Mutual.
Sometimes after a car accident, the insurance company won't give you anything for your injuries.
That's exactly what the insurance company tried to offer Gwen.
But Steinger, Green & Finer got her $795,000.
You're watching On the Record on WPBF 25.
And joining me now is Helena Carnegie and Jakari, her 14-year-old son. Thank you both for being here with us this morning. Helena, we'll start with you. Why did you want to put Jakari into Connect to Greatness?
It started when I tragically lost my father and his grandfather and his other grandfather, and I needed some type of stability for him. I seen him slipping into depression a little bit, so I needed him to, you know, be a little bit more aware and more rounded of the things that's going on in life, you know. It was also during COVID as well, so, you know, during COVID it was very scary and kind of depressing for everybody.
So you were telling me both grandfathers in his life passed away in the same exact year, who were
6 months apart.
6 months apart. They were very strong male figures
Yes.
in Jakari's life. You are a single mother,
Yes.
and you were also diagnosed as well.
Yes, with a rare autoimmune disorder, MG. It affects my lungs and weakens my muscles. He actually found me unresponsive, so that was another hit to him. Hit after hit after hit. You can only imagine, you know, in a child, you know, what he was going through mentally.
So you were playing both the role of mother and father before you found this organization.
Yes, absolutely. And his grandfather that passed away was a very, very important figure in his life, so that really kind of traumatized him a little bit.
Jakari, what was that like? You know, just having two strong male figures in your life, and then all of a sudden, you know, not having them around anymore.
It was very different change, and also it was kind of hard to get over, and had a lot of thinking and like problem solving in it.
Yeah, and then you found Connect to Greatness. So how has your experience been like there?
It's been hard. It's mostly been pretty fun because I know and grew up with most of the people that's in the group, so it's not hard.
Helena, you were telling me that, you know, Jakari felt like a single child, an only child, right?
Yes,
for such a long time,
yes.
but now he has a lot of siblings.
Oh, a lot of siblings. It's like a brotherhood, you know. They get together, they start acting very childlike, playing games, and, you know, they go through different things at school as well. So every Thursday they have a meeting where they see each other and they tell each other, well, hey, I went through this in school. Well, let me help you. This helped me. Or they have homework issues, you know, they ask each other for advice, and, you know, different teachers as well. So it's so cute to watch. They just love each other.
Jakari, tell us more a little bit about the program. What are some of the things that you do?
Mostly we go over such real world like stereotypes or like scenarios which could help in when we grow up, and also how we have to pay bills and go over like different insurances.
Real life, right? Yeah, real life experiences. And Jakari, tell us about the mentors at the program.
Well, most of the mentors, or basically all, they have like more sympathy and empathy because they know what we go through or went through while we're still growing up in our teenage era. So they help us and pull us through what we're going through and help us with our homework.
How long ago did you find the program?
It's going on actually 4 years.
4 years.
Today.
So what do you ever look back and think what your life would be like without this program?
Always. I look through pictures. They have a graduation recently, and I look through the pictures and just think, if we didn't find the programs, maybe he would be lost and we would still be struggling. You know, I'm just very thankful of the program, all of the coaches and the mentors. They're like fathers to these kids, you know, like he said, they offer advice. Like, you know, they have different mentors for different kids, but they're all our family because they have been through this. They went through these problems in life and everything, and the kids just gravitate to them, you know, and I love it. If we didn't have it, I don't know where we would be.
Well, Helena, thank you so much for sharing your story. Jakari, you as well. We wish you all the best as you start high school, right, this upcoming year?
I'm going to my sophomore year in high
Going
school.
to your sophomore year. Well, we wish you the very best in your sophomore year. Thank you again, both, for being here with us this morning. And coming up, my co-anchor Todd McDermott will dive into which programs are available.
Mid-year money moves. New Monday, ways to get your financial goals and plans back on track.
New laws go into effect as we begin July. The changes you need to know about.
We're there when news breaks in every community. Whether you're navigating Palm Beach County traffic or tracking storms on the Treasure Coast, watch WPBF 25 News Mornings everywhere, every day.
To everyone making time for life's best moments, let us celebrate with you.
In Wisconsin, we love celebrating together.
Big days or any other day.
So much.
From hot and juicy to ooey gooey
To oh my word.
Oh my word.
Culver's!
Serving you a handcrafted meal that makes today.
Today, a little bit more special. That's what fills us up inside.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious!
Yeah.
Bad boy mowers aren't built for everyone. They're built for the bold, the originals, people who get the job done and love every second of it. Bad boys are built for horsepower and cutting-edge precision with a first-of-its-kind 3-link suspension and a style all their own. Because you're not everyone. That's a good thing. Bad boy. Mow with an attitude.
Planet Oats so creamy and not watery like.
Exactly, and unsweetened has 0 grams of sugar.
And don't forget, it's an excellent source of calcium. Wow, Planet Oat really has it all. You guys are so right. No, you are. No, you are. No, you are. Yeah, you are.
Meet the future. A chef, a designer, and an engineer. All learning to save and spend their money with Chase. The chef's cooking up first with her new debit card.
Hungry?
Uh-huh. The designer's eyeing sequins, no, plaid. While mom is eyeing his spending. Nice. And the engineer? She's taking control with her own account for college. 3 futures, all with Chase. Freedom for kids, control for parents. One bank for both. Chase, make more of what's yours.
WPBF 25 First Warning Weather, certified most accurate for 11 years.
Welcome back Down the Record. Joining me now is Andre Thaddeus, Executive Director, Connect to Greatness, and you are the co-founder.
That is correct.
So let's talk about what inspired you to do this in the first place.
Well, I wish I could take all the credit, but I won't.
I knew you wouldn't.
I would not. It was my wife, Dr. Cassandra Corbin Thaddeus, and we have 2 boys. And about 7 years ago exactly, she was like, we need to do something. You know, you're coaching football, but we need to do something for young African-American boys who are not into sports. And on our sofa, you know, she had a group of people, some friends of ours came over, and she just wanted to start a program that could empower young African-American black boys.
How long ago was that, Andre?
It was 7 years ago.
And look at how far you've come. There are so many programs now offered through Connect to Greatness.
That is correct. That is correct. We started with 7 black boys in 6th grade, and just recently, a couple weeks ago, on the 15th, all 7 of those boys graduated. 4 will be going to college, 3 will be going to trade school.
That is fantastic.
It's awesome.
And talk about let's talk more about the various opportunities these young men have through this organization and their mentors. What are they exposed to?
Well, they're exposed to something different, right? So like, for give an example, on Friday we leave, we're going to a place called River Ranch. We're taking them camping. And at River Ranch, they have a full-fledged rodeo. And a lot of kids from Delray, Boynton area, you can't explain to them what a rodeo is until you see it, right? And so this is our 3rd year doing that. So it was such a great hit. The first time we did, the boys were like, oh, I want to go. But unfortunately, we can't take 40 at a time. So we take about 10 at a time. We pitch a tent. We're cooking on the fire, we're doing the marshmallows, we're watching the rodeos, and that's just an experience that you just can't get in Delray, Boynton area. So that was one of them. And also the college tours. Every spring break, we go up to Atlanta. We take about 8 boys on a college tour, even the middle school kids, because if you can't see it, like how do you can imagine? Like, we try to awaken their imagination and put them in good situations where they can like see themselves being on the college campus.
Let's take a minute. Let's talk about the boys. Tell me about what you see in the boys as they go through the mentorship program.
The first thing we see is growth, right? And I'll be honest with you, mainly the first time they come kicking and screaming. You know, mom heard about this mentoring program and is like, I don't want to come, arms folded. But after a while, once they get to understand that us as the mentors, we've been there, right? We played football with you guys out there. We've been in middle school, we've been in elementary, we got into arguments with our parents. So it's like, you see the growth, right? You see the understanding that we're trying to make a connection. We're not trying to make you do anything different. We're just trying to be here for you.
And let's talk about this combination that you have with Palm Beach County Schools. What is that about, and what's the impact of having that partnership?
It is unbelievable. So right now, we have a partnership with the school district that allows us to be on the campus of 7 different schools. We call that program Lunchbox Talk. And with that program, each school gives about 10 to 12 boys that we have every week for the whole school year. And we either get to meet in the principal's office, or we can meet in the cafeteria on a separate room. And it's just them by themselves. So now they feel special that they're chosen to come eat lunch with us on a weekly basis. And we talk about anything. So the subjects can go from sports to they're having some issues with their little girlfriends. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially middle school.
Of course they are.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about the mentors themselves. How do they qualify? And talk about those men.
Those men, they're amazing. Without the mentors, there would be no program. I mean, that's just, our organization 7 years ago started with 5 men other than myself, right? We still have those same 5 with an additional of 7 more. I think the longevity of having them, because they've been there before. A lot of our young boys, they want to play sports, basketball, football, or whatever they want to do in the college level, in NBA, NFL. Well, some of our mentors, they've had that road. You know, they went to college football. And me having the opportunity to coach, a lot of my kids, or players, I should say, I don't want to call them kids, that I coached years ago, they've come back. They want to contribute to the community, so now they're our mentors at Connect to Greatness. And all of them have their level 2 backgrounds through the school district. We have our badges. We're on the campuses. We meet the kids in the community. We have the parents. We work with the police departments, both Delray and Boynton. So we just try to be inclusive of all our mentorships and the community around.
Was there ever a time when you felt that you couldn't get this done, that you really couldn't make a difference? And when did that change, if that ever happened?
I may have had those thoughts, but my wife Cassandra, she didn't allow us to have those thoughts, because she's like this. We have this phrase, we call her Dr. Cass. Her favorite thing is voluntold. So she'll ask you something and you really think she's asking, but the expectation's already there. So, you know, next day or two is like, that's not done yet. Right.
It's an ask, but it's a tell.
It's definitely a tell. And everybody in the organization, they understand that now. We joke, we laugh about it, but she's kind of serious, right? So if we have that feeling about it's not going to flourish, no, it's going to happen. Like, her thing is like, this is our organization, it's our job to make it happen.
All right.
Yeah.
Andre Thaddeus, you are the co-founder and the executive director of Connect to Greatness. In the last 20 seconds here, what's your #1 goal moving forward?
Our #1 goal moving forward is to empower more boys, right? To open up their imaginations, to make sure that they have a resource that they can feel comfortable with, and they look up to a group of men that's pointing them in the right direction.
All right, a very worthwhile goal, Connect to Greatness. Thank you so much for going on the record today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back.
We knew there was war going on in Vietnam.
We had no choice but to leave.
Governor Ray led the effort to change America's policy and succeeded.
Refugees Welcome. Stream for free only on Very Local.
Get into an Audi and go your own way. Find your way to exceptional offers during the Summer of Audi sales event at your local Audi dealer.
Thank you for making WPBF 25 News #1.
Day or night, there's something for everyone this summer at Busch Gardens Tampa Bay. the animal lover, the high flyer, the social butterfly, the night owl. Exotic, exhilarating, excitement for all. Save up to 55% on tickets, fun cards, and passes during our 4th of July sale. Hurry, offer ends soon.
It's time to step into kindergarten. Parents, the School District of Palm Beach County is now enrolling kindergarten students for next school year. We're ready to educate, affirm, and inspire your child in a nurturing learning environment. All incoming students receive a free kindergarten readiness kit to practice reading and math this summer. Register now at palmbeachschools.org/kindergarten.
The School District of Palm Beach County is your best choice.
Welcome back to Sunday with a chance of winning. Final question. Which one of these benefits can you receive every year if you enroll with HealthSun?
Is it $5,000 for comprehensive dental services? $2,400 for groceries, home and pet care supplies and utilities? $1,500 for OTC items, or all of the above?
Cindy?
D, all of them!
Your health deserves a 5-star plan. Call us today.
Whenever you need us, just reach out, and we'll be there to deliver the health care you need. Find a care site near you at hcafloridahealthcare.com.
Get into an Audi and go your own way. Find your way to exceptional offers during the Summer of Audi sales event at your local Audi dealer.
And a special thank you to all of the mentors empowering and inspiring our youth. Thank you so much for making us a part of your morning.
What they're accomplishing is just so important. As always, we encourage you to be part of our discussion each and every Sunday right here at 10 a.m. Until then, you can watch this morning's On the Record episode and every episode on our website, WPBF.com, and on our free WPBF 25 News app. Matter of Fact with Soledad O'Brien is coming up. We hope you have a wonderful Sunday. See you again next week.